Procrastination. I love you, but I hate you. What is procrastination? This beautiful word. Procrastination is when you have something that you're supposed to do or something that you should do, but you don't do. You make excuses and you put it off. Nope. I feel like I'm supposed to do something. Now, let me give you some examples of procrastination. You're supposed to clean your chaotic room, but instead you spend it surfing the internet. Or you are supposed to be revising for an exam and you spend it tidying your room, you know? We all procrastinate, okay?
Bubz, I don't procrastinate.
Guys, come on. The very ironic thing is that some of you are even procrastinating right now by watching this video on procrastination. Are you procrastinating? We can think about doing something, we plan about it, we talk about it, and nada, we don't do anything at all. So today we're going to be talking about procrastination and just how we can beat it. I think to put it really simple, procrastination is basically just a bad habit. And you know what they say about bad habits? A bad habit is like a comfy bed. It's so easy to get into, but it's so hard to get out of in the morning. Now, a lot of you guys are procrastinating right now. Instead of doing your dishes, cleaning your room, revising, doing your assignments, working on your CV, applying for jobs, you're just putting it off. You can't beat procrastination, okay? The first thing you must do is just stop talking and start acting. When I say stop talking, what I mean is stop saying things like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it next week, I'll do it tomorrow, or stop saying things like, oh, I can't be bothered, this is boring, or even stuff like, I wish I did this last week, I wish I did this instead, because you're wasting time. Let me tell you, during high school and university, I was not the coolest or, you know, the most fun type of girl. You know, I would come to class and I'd hear people talk about, oh, how smashed they were last night, oh, I was so bombed. And I actually had one girl come up to me and say to me, stop working, you're working too much. Then it was time to hand in the deadlines. Everybody was basically stressing about getting their work done, and there was me making pot noodle in a corner, so who's laughing now? It was really cool because in summer I really got to enjoy it because I was almost worry-free because I put in all the effort that I can. Well, you know, not that I was totally worry-free, but you know, I know I did the best that I could, and I know that worrying won't be able to change things anyway. Obviously, we all like to have fun. I like to have fun. I'm a fun gal. But there's a place and a time, and I think, you know, we should all learn to be responsible, and it almost makes me feel kind of sad because there's a lot of students out there who are intelligent and clever, and they're just letting their education slip off their fingertips just for the word fun, because you know what? Fun doesn't last forever. I heard people say this. Procrastination is like a credit card. You have fun when you're doing it, and then suddenly you realize you've got a bill to pay. Tell me guys, would you risk it for a biscuit? Procrastination doesn't mean you can escape from it. If anything, it just means you're in denial of it, because at the end of the day, you will have to face it. And when it's all piled up, you'll just get more pressure and you'll just become more stressed. So don't run away from your problems, guys. Face it. I meant this. Face it, not, you know, talk to the hand. I think with a lot of us, not just teenagers, even grown-ups can get very influenced by their friends. So you gotta learn to say no. Fair enough if your friends want to have fun, but it doesn't mean that they drag you into it, you know? While you may hear people say stuff like, I wish I'm as successful as he is, there's a lot of people that just do wishing, you know? A lot of people want what you have, but they don't want to do what you do to get there, if that makes sense. For example, sometimes people say, Bubz, I wish I'm as happy as you are. Let me tell you, honey, I didn't get there wishing. It takes effort. I have to put effort to just, I guess, not to complain so much. I have to change the way I think. I can control how the situations work around me. However, I can't control the way I think. There's just so many examples. I wish I'm as successful as she is, but you know what? I don't want to work as hard as she does. So how exactly can you motivate yourself in terms of revising, applying for jobs, just being more driven? You must face what you're about to do with a positive attitude. You know, there's a lot of people and they just like to complain and whine, and it just sets you in a negative attitude. And you know what? When you're so negative, it actually rubs off into other people as well. If you have a deadline coming up, don't face it with dread because it'll just make you feel worse. Instead, tell yourself that I can do this. You really gotta think positive. And although this must be like a little difficult to believe, but there is actually power in your words. If you think negative and talk negative, then everything you do will suddenly become negative. However, if you think positive and speak only words of positivity, then you can face what you're doing with a positive attitude and you will perform all your tasks much smoother. Your work environment is also pretty important as well. Sometimes when you're working and you're stressed, you don't realize that it could be your surrounding that's stressing you out. A messy apartment makes me feel anxious. So instead, when my apartment is squeaky clean, I have my scented candle burning, have soothing music on. All of that together just creates a nice atmosphere and makes me enjoy the process of working. Definitely reward yourself because you deserve it. So say you've been out working all day long, then come home and give yourself a nice hot bubble bath. Even something like, facial, do your nails, give yourself a little pedicure, eat your favorite snack. When you know you have an award at the end of your task, it really helps to keep you on your toes and motivate you throughout it. I find that when I handwrite my schedule, it really helps to keep me on track. It's actually even proven that people who handwrite their New Year resolutions, they are far more likely to actually do them than people who don't handwrite it down. Of course, don't procrastinate by spending too long making your timetable. I have to say one of the best feelings for me is when I know I've completed a task and then I go to my timetable and I tick it off. Bubz, I feel like there's too much for me to do. I don't know where to stop. First of all, calm down. Realize it's impossible for you to do everything at a go. Even if you did, you would have did it half-heartedly. So start out with one task first. People can guide you. Sure, they can give you advice and everything, but in the end of the day, only you can help yourself, okay? You are truly responsible for your actions. And you can't blame your friends who persuaded you to go to the cinema instead of revising for your exam. You can't blame your partner who decided to pick up an argument the day before your exam. You must really be able to think for yourself. And also, if you have a mind to sit on denial and failure, then nobody could really help you. First, you must believe, then you can achieve. When I first started going to gym, I have to admit, I was all, can't be bothered, I just want to sit home and watch TV. And when I was at the gym, I was like, oh, I'm dying, why is everything so heavy? I hated it, and then the next 3 days I would feel even more painful because my muscles would be so sore. However, afterwards I started to feel different. I started to feel happier. All that exercising helped me release endorphins, making me stress less. It worked my heart and it was working my body. I started to feel fitter, and slowly and surely I started to enjoy the burn. The results gave me confidence and it kept me going. Just try to be excited, guys. Try to be excited for the challenges ahead of you and face it with a positive attitude. Life is all about trying and learning, and you cannot deny that one of the best feelings in the world is knowing you've accomplished doing something. So start being a now person and take the pro out of procrastinate and be proactive instead. Trust me, the future you will thank you for it. This is what he gets for stealing pants. Thug for life.